Welcome to Marvel and Mysteries. My name is Tracy, and today is a progress update on the journey I started about a month ago in Drained the Trap of Emotional Exhaustion. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the little things that I did to kind of come out of that. And if you joined me on this journey, I want to hear from you. Please let me know in the comments or email me at contact@matrixofjustice.org. So I want to know what you did in your journey, what was successful, what you even learned about yourself through it. And I'm an everyday follower of Jesus like you. And in all my getting, I want wisdom and understanding and all of that so that I can mature into Jesus. That's the whole point, is to be maturing into him. And I want that abundant life that we were promised that he died for, just like you do. It's like, I want that. So this entire journey, just to give it a quick recap, this started with the dry season I was going through. And so that was the first video that I had done, was on dry seasons. And the Lord told me not to waste it, not to waste a dry season. And that actually led me into prayer, into some light research. And I realized, oh my goodness, the issue is that I am emotionally drained. And how in the world do you fix that? And the way that it is supposed to work, if we'll just stay with it, is that the Lord has designed us to be three-part beings for a reason: spirit, soul, and body. And those three parts of our being actually are in its own little economy, its own little flow. And when we are loving the Lord, he loves us, and the perfect love casts out all fear. It deals with the lies that others tell us, that we tell ourselves. It allows us to remove those things, and that river of living water just keeps flowing. But once that gets a little chink in it, so to speak, then the next thing you know, you're dry and you're feeling absolutely drained. So my question was, okay, God, what do I need to do to get back into this? What do I need to do so I can start walking in life again and really feeling like I'm alive and I have life? And something that he reminded me of, and that I think about sometimes, is that we live in a time when there is a religion of medical science. And the focus is on the body. And most of the time, if we're really honest about it, it's dealing with symptom management only, and it's not dealing with root causes. So the root cause could actually be in the soul, in the spirit, and it's manifesting in the body, but all we're doing is treating the body. So through this process, these were small ways that the Lord helped me to discover that I could be taking care of my spirit, my soul, and my body so that I can get to the actual root causes so that there can be recovery and come out of it. So I was making the former codependent's promise that this wouldn't turn into another checklist of things that you have to do, but it would be something that's going to benefit you and you're going to feel so much better as a result. So let's start. The first area that I'm going to talk about is body. And I suffered from heartburn, and the kind of heartburn that not only does it ruin your day, it also ruins your sleep. You're trying not to throw up at 2 a.m. And it didn't matter what I ate, what I didn't eat. I could have nothing all day and have heartburn. I could have water and have heartburn. I could drink a bottle of Tabasco sauce, not have any heartburn at all, and then turn around and have like a bowl of cereal and have the worst heartburn ever. So what I started doing to address that is to drink vinegar water before my meals. And that helped to regulate the actual gut health and keeping things the acidic way that it needs to be to digest food properly. So that was helping so much to where I felt good during the day. And if I felt like almost an onset of the heartburn coming on, I could just take a little bit of, and I mean just a couple of sips, really, a couple of drinks of vinegar water, and it would just kill that. And so I was able to actually sleep properly at night and not have to deal with getting up because of feeling like I was going to throw up. Now, if I will confess there were a couple of days I was irresponsible with my eating. And so I ate too late and I ate things that would ultimately kind of preclude you to having heartburn. So there were a couple evenings where I struggled a little bit, but I just got up and had the vinegar water and things were a lot better. And another thing to add to that digestion and just overall comfort and hydration was also taking time to drink some warm lemon water. And so I would say probably once a day I'm consuming an entire lemon. And sometimes I just eat the thing. But the lemon water is so nice. And again, it's getting the hydration in. It helps with the vitamin C levels and it just gives you a nice boost. And for me, I like coffee, I like tea, and having a cup of some kind of warm liquid is just nice. It's comforting when you're working on things and getting all of your good ideas. So I implemented that, and that has just been really, truly wonderful. And then the third thing I want to share was, I think the most surprising for me, is that I was gifted a trampoline. I guess the technical term these days is a rebounder, one of those small trampolines. And it was so wonderful. I was so happy to get that. And I remembered when I was little, I could jump on one of those things forever, like an hour, and it would not be an issue. And so it kind of shocked me that when I got on, I probably couldn't even do a minute without starting to be super duper winded. And then I went on YouTube. I'm like, okay, let me find some beginner workouts here. And oh my gosh, so like these ladies are just like so ethereal, like booing, and they're making it look so easy, and I'm struggling. I feel like I'm dying and I'm gonna pass out. And so I was thinking, oh gosh, well, how am I gonna be able to work out if I can't even do the basic moves, the beginner moves? And oh my goodness, God sent a miracle in a YouTube channel for me. And this channel name, if you want to do this rebounding thing, please write this down, take note of this. I'll make sure that I put a link to her in the description. But the channel is Rebounder Workout with Steph. And as it turns out, Steph was also starting her rebounder journey about the same time that I was. And so she just was like, I'm just going to do this for accountability and I'm going to do it basically out loud. And so she invited all of YouTube to come to her journey with her. And she's so encouraging. And it was so wonderful to see that there was someone else going, I can't do these moves. These other moves that are out there, I cannot do them. And so she just got on the treadmill and moved. And so it's really, really nice. And all of the workouts build kind of on top of the other ones. And she's so encouraging, and she addresses all the stuff that if you had a friend with you working out, you would probably be saying to them. So the whole time that you're huffing and puffing, she's chitty-chatting at you with all kinds of wonderful, encouraging, reinforcing things. She's also sharing very vulnerably about her journey and struggles that she's had. So I would just highly, highly recommend it, because she has cheered me on, and oh my gosh, so it's fun to laugh and hang out with somebody you don't even know from afar, and you're getting all these benefits. And so I can honestly say from doing this for about a month that I have balance back that I didn't have before. It really does force your body to adjust so that you can balance better. I know I have a lot more strength and a lot more stamina. I feel really good. I know that there's drainage that's going on in my body, and the toxins are being removed. So just remember, toxins are coming out. You'll know what I mean if you go through this process. The toxins are leaving you. But it was absolutely wonderful of a process. So I highly encourage you to do that. So next, dealing with our soul. As David said, our darling, right? Our darling. So there were a few areas that I focused on that worked best for me, because I know myself, if I'm into a project and I hit a wall of some sort, I will just keep pushing on that thing until I knock it over, go through it or something. But there are some days when that's just not wisdom to do. And so I would stop go outside and just sit for 10 to 15 minutes and just enjoy the sun and getting the vitamin D, and sometimes taking that like a hot cup of the lemon water with me and just simply enjoying that, just being outside, breathing in the fresh air, and not being stuck in front of a computer contemplating everything all of the time. So that was one thing that I did, and considering I'm able to sleep better at night from the workouts I was getting and from the other ways I'm taking care of my body, it allowed me to settle a lot more, to just feel everything around me and be more in tune with myself and in tune with Holy Spirit. Just wonderful. And then also, I made a point to intentionally give my worries, my fears, concerns, all of that over to the Lord. Like, really made an effort to do that every day so that I wasn't bearing one of them. A lot of my weight came onto me because of stress. So it's a lot of cortisol. So I've got all this stress weight that's just come on from over the years. I am not any different than anybody else. That's what happens to us ladies. The cortisol weight just comes on. So I just was really making the point to give everything over to the Lord, which is something I generally do at nighttime, but I'm like, yeah, I need to do this pretty much all day long. So anytime that I felt nervous, anxious, if I felt some kind of fear for the future, how are things going to go? How's this going to go? That going to go? Certain prayer needs and that kind of thing. I just flat out was telling the Lord, like, I'm confessing, I'm scared, I'm terrified, whatever it is. And then saying, okay, all right, there you go. I know your word says fear not. I want to fear not, but help me, Lord. What do I need to do so I can be in that place where I can have that peace and trust you and know that you've got it. So that really also helped to, every time I was feeling that, to just boom, 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 give it over to him as quickly as possible. And then just for enjoyment, I watched different videos. I watched a few documentaries, and that was nice. I watched some different recipes, and I'm giggling because there's one chef that is just a riot. Oh my goodness, a riot in a good way. And he just made me giggle. He has all these kids and makes these monstrous meals that it's just funny if you saw this guy. So I was giggling about that and watching some reels on Instagram for 5-10 minutes just to be giggling, just to be laughing. We can be so serious sometimes, and especially if we're struggling with fear, worry, anxiety, and all of that, that's just sucking the life out of us. And then it shifts our focus away from the things of the Lord onto all of the yuck. So this has all helped to get my eyes back onto, okay, I can laugh, I can have fun, let's have some joy, in the fullness. In the presence of the Lord is the fullness of joy. So yeah, exactly. Okay, so the last piece that I was working on was feeding my spirit. And this was really a wonderfully exceptional process to go through. And so I'm really hoping that you guys are going to grab a hold of some of this and make it your own and have the Lord help you and direct you into how you walk through it for you so that you can experience these benefits, because you're worth it. You're worth it. And there's only one you, and the world kind of needs you. I'm sorry, but we all kind of need you. So you want to make sure that you're ministered to as well as everybody else. But for my spirit, I made sure that I was praying in tongues whenever I could. If I was on the treadmill, I was in tongues. In the shower, in tongues. Walking around the house, in tongues. That is easier for me maybe than some people, because you might have a big family, and so there's all kinds of people to be listening or something like that. But whenever you can, go ahead and do that. So it's so wonderful because you're edifying yourself, but then also there are mysteries that are being prayed unto the Lord, and that's very good. So it takes you through kind of like a spiritual cleanup process. And in addition to praying in tongues, I was also praying with my understanding, like Paul writes, like you sing in the spirit, you sing with your understanding, pray in the spirit, pray with your understanding. I was praying with understanding into the area of bloodline iniquity. in the church, we talk a lot about sin and that sort of thing, but not really bloodline iniquity and kind of what ends up compounding through the generations and hitting us and what we're bearing, each one of us. So I was focused specifically on praying into that. And that combination, I think, between praying in Holy Spirit and then also praying specifically into the area of bloodline iniquity, that actually resulted in several dreams. And all of those dreams were pointing back to very specific things that I could pray through for myself, for my family, for the entire bloodline. And that has just been exceptional. So I just want to say, do it, because it is fantastic. And then number 3 for spirit, and this kind of partners a little bit with the soul stuff, is also in my prayer time and things that I was giving over to the Lord. I was also asking him, okay, what would you like me to do? This kind of went with it. I'm confessing my fear and all of that, but I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to handle today? Like, what can I do for you today? That's sort of how it starts, is talking to the Lord like he's a person, because, he is, and talking to him and we're to wait on him. And I think, waiting is, in hopeful expectation, but sometimes that's like, my king, what can I do? What do you need? How can I help? Like that sort of thing. What do you want to tell me? So it was marking those things down. And then also, in the midst of that, you're going to get the random like grocery list item. Oh, wait, I need to get the car oil changed. You're going to get all that stuff. So you still want to mark that all down. But just listening and staying in what he is saying for you to do basically that day. And so over this process, I just feel like I've been able to really hear him more clearly and what he would like me to do, and then to do my best to be obedient with that. So this whole cycle of continual refreshing has really started to happen again. And again, am I feeling like the most glorious, magnificent, whatever? Not yet, but am I on my way there? Oh, yes. I feel so much better. And getting better sleep is just helping everything throughout the day. Of course, it helps mindset, attitude, even toward others. And because of taking better care of myself, I'm experiencing less pain that's derived from basically not caring for myself. Now I'm having the pain from the workouts and the stretching and all of that, all of the good kind of stuff that shows that your body is working and you're moving. So that has helped out so much. The energy levels, just all over. It's been such a good improvement to take the time, which really isn't a whole lot of time at all. I mean, the workout is maybe 10 to 15 minutes, because I'm starting at a place where I can actually do it and be successful instead of being discouraged. It's so easy to think back to when you're a 20 something and think like, oh, well, I used to be able to do this and I used to be able to do that, and then beat your current self up because you can no longer do that. And it's like, well, you've probably been sitting in an office in a chair for a number of years and, right up close to a screen. And so you're going to have some of those effects from that. So it's like, not beating yourself up and just taking things one step at a time and being consistent with it. So all of this has worked together. The spirit detox, like the detox of my spirit and the detox going on with my body. And so this has really been just such a good experience. And I'm excited to keep going. And I'm hoping that you'll join too. And that you have somebody that you're doing it with, kind of like, like a workout buddy or whatnot. And so if you haven't already seen Dry Places, you should definitely go back, check out Dry Places. If you're in a dry season, what you can do so that you're not wasting that, and then move on to Drained, the Trap of Emotional Exhaustion, where I'm just kind of going through how do you end up there, what is it, and then looking at some different ways, giving some different ways that you could join in and come out of the nasty rut. And then the next video that you ought to try is all we can do is pray. And the reason why is because we need to reframe how we look at prayer, because prayer is what is going to shift things and move things. You're in conversation and communion with the Lord, and we need to put that as first place and not relegated to the bottom position of that's our last resort. All we can do is pray. So I pray that this progress report encouraged you and that you will go on your journey through this body, soul, spirit to get that wonderful ecosystem of who you are in the Lord, the body, soul, spirit, and get that all working again so that you can come out of emotional exhaustion and that you can have the abundant life that the Lord paid for in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.